Yo, what's going on YouTube? 0088 here. We're going to talk about Star Wars The Force Awakens. You know, I didn't really want to do this, but yeah, I just felt like I had to, man. I'm a bit late to the game. It's what, nearly January? It's like a couple days till January, and I haven't even, this is when I'm going to upload my review, but madness. But I just thought I had to get this done. I wasn't going to do it, but you know what, I've seen the film twice now. I've looked at other people's opinions and shit. I've listened to other people's reviews, and I've heard all the theories and all the complaints, and it's very polarized, man. People's reactions are polarized to it. So there's people that think it's the best thing since sliced bread, and there's people that think Star Wars is just shit. Force Awakens, that is. So and then there's obviously people in the middle, and I'd say I'm the one in the middle. Like, I don't think it's the best thing since sliced bread. I don't think it's absolutely shit either. I think The Force Awakens is decent. It's alright. But let's get into it. This isn't much of a review as it is like my thoughts on it. So yeah, I mean, look, I've got the Star Wars poster right there, so obviously I like it, but I don't love it. That's the problem I got. And yeah, basically the storyline is a bit simple. It's the same as A New Hope, basically. Everyone said that already. You got the main hero on Tatooine, but it's Jakku this time, which is Rey, like Luke Skywalker. And then you've got the BB-8 that comes in, like R2-D2 with the important message, or the important thing. And then you've got the Resistance, which is the Rebels. And you've got the First Order, which is the Empire. And it's just, you know, I'm sure you've watched a whole bunch of reviews and all that kind of stuff. You know, everyone's been saying it's A New Hope, it's A New Hope. And that's a problem, that's a big problem I got with it. Like, why are you going to come in and make a new movie 30 years after the previous one in the storyline, and then make the same thing? Like, why? The worst part about it is the Starkiller base. Like, the Starkiller base comes in, and that's like basically the Death Star Part 2 but bigger, and they even joke about it. Like, come on, man. Like, it's just, it kind of treats you like you're an idiot a bit, doesn't it? And then, like, you got Resistance going in, flying and destroying Starkiller base and all that kind of crap. Yeah, so obviously the storyline is nothing to go mad about. So you've got to talk about the characters. Poe Dameron. Some people are saying it's a new Han Solo. Some people are saying it's a new Leia because he's like the Resistance. He's like kind of the next person you see in the Resistance after Leia herself. That's important. So I don't know. I don't know myself. You know, it's hard to. I don't know. I used to think it was a new Leia as well, and I thought Finn was a new Han Solo, but I can't tell. It's like a lot of people saying Finn is a new Leia and Rey's a new Luke, because Finn's kind of a little bitch. Not that Leia was a bitch, she was cool, but Rey, I'll get to Rey later. But yeah, so yeah, Poe Dameron, he's not that, to me, honestly, he wasn't that funny. I just thought he was just kind of cash, like, with the line where it says, so he's going to go first, you going to go first, am I going to go first? Like, that line, that killed that scene for me. Like, it was an epic scene. You got Kylo Ren coming in. You got the stormtroopers. You've never seen the stormtroopers this raw. They're coming in raw, fucking up the whole of the Jakku villages and all that. So Kylo Ren just fucks up that sort of pseudo Jedi guy. I don't know who that was. Like the old guy that knew about Luke's whereabouts. And then you got you got Kylo Ren stopping a blaster in mid-air, you know. And then you got flipping. And then you fight, and then they capture Poe, and then Poe's like completely kills the whole mood by making a joke like that. Stupid joke. I know they're trying to say he's a comedian, he's a Han Solo, but you know what? That might have actually worked if they don't try and make everyone else the comedian as well in this. Like, Rey cracks jokes, Finn cracks jokes, BB-8 is funny, you know, Han Solo's cracking jokes, Chewie's funny, but it's okay for Han Solo and Chewie to be funny. I'll go back to that. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to get too much into what I hate. Let's talk about what I like first. I can really get into what I hate in a minute. So what I like about Star Wars The Force Awakens, brilliant effects, you know, the fact that they've brought back practical effects is like a massive plus, right? And then you've got you know, some of the action set pieces, like when Rey was flying the Millennium Falcon and it went upside down, she stopped it in midair. It's like, pew, and then just started again. Oh, come on, man, that was sick. That little, like, I don't know, that little like handbrake turn where Millennium Falcon's arse is right in your face and it just goes like, this Millennium Falcon just comes in like, it just goes, come on, man, that was beautiful shit. It was awesome. And then the tracking shot with Poe Dameron in the X-Wing taking out all the TIE fighters, and you got Finn going, that's one hell of a pilot, you know, that bit was awesome. Like, oh my god, there's some really good action set pieces in this, and the lightsaber fight at the end was really good. Like what I love about that lightsaber fight is it's not like crazy like the prequels, even though I love the prequel lightsaber fights. I love Obi-Wan versus Anakin, I love Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn versus Darth Maul. Those bits were sick, like that was sick in the prequels, right? And then, but this one is more like the originals, like slow paced, more like the old samurai fights from, you know, the old samurai films, and like obviously what I love about it is it makes sense story wise as well. Like you've got Rey, who doesn't know what the fuck she's doing, I don't know about that, and you've got Kylo Ren, who's just like a trainee who's never really had to fight any proper Jedi. Like obviously Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin, all of them, even Luke, all of them would have murked him. Like they would have ended him if they got near him. Like Kylo Ren is worse than Luke, and Luke didn't even know how to do all those crazy and they don't know how to jump. Luke doesn't know how to jump around, well at least as much as they do anyway. He did jump a little bit in Empire Strikes Back. Rey just kept trying to stab Kylo and she kept getting it sliced away. The fighting was just raw, it was sick. And the lightsaber sounded a lot more violent, a lot more, you know, raw, like they just sounded more like in your face. Like when Finn's back got slashed by Kylo Ren, that seemed like it hurt, like that knocked him out. He was out cold. I've never seen a lightsaber strike make someone go out cold and put him in a coma. Finn was put in a coma, boy. That's what I mean. The lightsaber fights, they may not be as flashy as the prequels, but damn, they're flipping raw and they're rough, and that's what I love about it. I love the Jakku. Jakku just seemed like a massive waste desert. Like if Tatooine was bad, right? Tatooine was like a huge, crazy desert. Like Jakku felt like it was twice as big or something. Like there was something about Jakku when you see like Rey slide down the thing after she was scavenging the Star Destroyer, I think it was. I can't remember what she was scavenging, but she slides down on this like weird surfboard thing, and it just looks like so vast. All the sand everywhere. You know, Anakin would hate that shit. And so all the sand everywhere, and like it just seemed really like a way hotter, bigger, crazier version of Tatooine. So I loved the way Jakku looked. You can tell they went somewhere real for that. No George Lucas CGI bullshit there, you know. And then like the bit where Rey got the food and it just grew in the pot, and you just see how they eat, you know, cool stuff like that. And the practical effects on the aliens was good. Like Maz Kanata was a bit weird, but it didn't put me off that much. It was alright. Didn't really bother me. I mean, BB-8 was funny. I like BB-8. He was good. Like apparently it was a practical effect, but then some people saying it wasn't a practical effect. I don't know, but I think it was mostly a practical effect. Obviously there'll be some CGI there. Let's get to the nitty gritty, the stuff I didn't like, the stuff that stopped this film from being just decent to epic. Let's go over the characters. I've already talked about Poe previously. So Finn was cool. He was alright. Obviously the adverts and stuff, the commercials, they made you feel like Finn was going to be the main character. Like you thought he was going to be a Jedi. You thought he had the blue lights, he had Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. But obviously they lied to us and Rey was the main character. Like most of you figured that out when you got to Maz Kanata's place and you realised, shit man. Like maybe you figured out at the start of the film because Rey was like flipping focused on right at the start of the film. John Boyega's acting, like, he was good. he was really real. Like when things happened, when things went down, it was like, oh shit! Like he was like, Rey! He was screaming like his heart out. But sometimes, I don't know. For me, sometimes it felt a bit cringy when he did that. Like sometimes it seemed a bit OTT, a bit over the top when he used to do that. But I don't know. I kind of suspended my disbelief and just kind of took it as Finn was just really like, you know, really worried about Rey and stuff, like, you know, when she gets taken away. Though it didn't help when Han Solo was all like, yeah, I know, kid, whatever, I'm trying to get Leia there. You know what I mean? But yeah, the problem about Finn is he's a stormtrooper, right? Still yet, why is he the only stormtrooper that has a crisis of conscience? Why do we never see any other stormtroopers do that? I mean, you could, if you ask J.J. Abrams, he'd probably say something like, oh, there are loads of stormtroopers that defect, but you just don't see them. This is the one we decide to focus on. Like, yeah, that answers the question, but we don't know if J.J. Abrams actually thinks that. It could be something else. They could have just, like, a throwaway line, a bit of dialogue just to let you know why Finn is so special, you know? Why is he the one that defects when he sees something wrong, you know? And then the worst part about it is he didn't want to kill villagers that are not on his team, but he kills a shit out of all his teammates. You know he knows some of them. You know he's kind of friendly with someone. I don't know how bad discipline is, but it can't be that bad for Finn to have the personality that he does. At his age, he's been there since he was a kid. Why isn't he an indoctrinated robot human like everyone else, you know? Why is Finn the one that has, you know, the personality and the mentality to just break out of that indoctrination that they've obviously had since they've been kids? And why is he able to kill all this? It's just kind of silly. A throwaway dialogue, anything, just to show why he can shoot them. Just, I guess, you know, you could just assume that he does it because so he can survive, you know what I mean? But he literally does it with anger, he's shooting them. He's like, there could have been a scene where he's like, I don't want to kill you. Like, I know you, or whatever. Like, but then again, they're all masked. He doesn't know who's who. But, like, wouldn't you be worried that you're killing him? He must have made at least one friend out of all them stormtroopers. Come on. Some of them stormtroopers are women as well, but they don't really show you that, of course. But, yeah, it doesn't matter if they're women. I'm not saying he can't kill women. I'm just saying, like, he must have got friendly with a couple of them. Like, you know, if he's straight, that is. I don't know, everyone's saying him and Poe are gay now, but I don't know. Anyway, but, yeah, that's a problem I had with Finn. And also, like, they made him look so weak. I don't know if they made him look so weak to make Rey look strong. I don't mind a weak character, but, like, he couldn't even beat that stormtrooper. When I first watched it, when I came back, I didn't even remember that he lost. The second time I watched it, I was like, oh my god, he lost that fight? Because he had Luke's lightsaber, he was fighting him, and that stormtrooper kicked his ass. He was about to whoop his ass, about to kill him. And until Han Solo and Chewbacca, I think, they showed up and saved his ass. I was like, oh my god. How do you lose to that stormtrooper and then later on put up a fight against Kylo Ren? Like, he pissed Kylo Ren off. He stabbed him with the lightsaber in the shoulder. Next thing you know, Kylo Ren went schizo and fucked him up. Maybe because pussy was on the line. Like, he was trying to protect Rey. He was like, that's my pussy you're fucking with. That's my chance. That's my girl. Like he probably he started seeing red, went mad. But I don't know. He can make any reason up for why Finn could fight Kylo Ren but couldn't fight a measly stormtrooper. He should have whooped that stormtrooper's ass, let's be real. Han Solo was brilliant. He was great, you know. Like, all his jokes. Like, honestly, Han Solo and Chewbacca should have been the only funny characters. Maybe Poe if you had to make him funny. Like, Finn shouldn't have been so funny, jokey around. Like, and Rey definitely shouldn't have been so funny. But yeah, Han Solo was great. Loved him. He had some funny lines. Especially with Finn. I like the chemistry between Han Solo and Finn. I think had better chemistry than Rey and Finn. I think Rey and Finn's chemistry was okay, you know, like the comedic chemistry I didn't feel it at all. Their serious acting chemistry was a bit better, but Han Solo and Finn were way cool, and Poe and Finn as well were really good chemistry. Harrison Ford didn't phone it in at all. He was just good, you know what I mean? So Kylo Ren. I'm going to talk about Rey and Kylo Ren here, but let me start with Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren I actually enjoyed him. A lot of people didn't like Kylo Ren, but I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was great. It's a new bad guy. Like J.J. Abrams said, we're going to watch him grow like we watched Luke grow. He's almost going to be like seeing what it is, see how a Sith would grow. He's already way ahead of Luke because he's badass with the Force and he's badass with a lightsaber kind of already. Like, Luke didn't know shit in episode 4. But yeah, so we're watching Kylo Ren grow. I like that he was this vicious, intelligent, calculating bad guy, and he had these temper tantrums. And then when you take off a mask, he's just a normal-looking kid. He's just a. I don't know if he's a scared little boy, or emo little boy. Well, I think we know he's an emo little boy, but I don't know. When Han came up to Kylo Ren to kill him, when Han comes to Kylo Ren to try and bring him back, and Kylo Ren killed him. I don't know if Kylo Ren knew all that time he was going to kill him, or he was just actually in conflict. I think he knew. The way Adam Driver was playing it, he was like, I need your help. I need you. Like, he was really kind of not that confused. He was saying he was confused, but he seemed more confident, so yeah. But yeah, I just love all that, like his normal face. Some people said he's ugly. Some people said he looks like a nerd. That's what I love, the fact that he looks like a nerd. The fact that he's so normal and such. He's just a kid. He's just like, he's just playing bad, you know. He's trying to play hard. He's trying to be bad. He's just a pussy, really, though. And that's the point. Everyone says, oh, the bad guy's a pussy. He's meant to be a pussy. He's not, I wouldn't say he's meant to be shit at fighting. He's punching himself in the chest, trying to fuck them up, you know. He's not shit, but he's not as hard as he tries to make himself out to be. And that's the point. And that's why I enjoyed him as a character. He's got a lot of room for growth. And now this is where the problem with Rey is. I'm not going to say Mary Sue, because like, even though by the definition that seems to be the popular one on the internet right now, I agree she's a Mary Sue, but everyone keeps arguing about the definition. Some people say Mary Sue means someone that's everything comes easily to and is perfect at everything. And some other people say Mary Sue's actually a character that the author inserts themselves into the narrative or something, and then they interact with other characters, some bullshit like that. So I'm not going to really refer to her as a Mary Sue. What I'm going to say is her character is bad. Rey's character is bad. Like, Daisy Ridley played her well. Daisy Ridley's a good actress. I like her as Rey, but her character and her character development was shit. It wasn't interesting. She was instantly good at everything. She got in Han Solo's Millennium Falcon and tinkered with it and rode it better than him, like better than Lando Calrissian, you know, the guy who flipping owned it first, and then the guy who owned it second for all these films, all these years, because he was looking for, I don't know how long it's been missing from him. I didn't catch that, you know. Yeah, she knows everything about it more than Han Solo. I don't mind her knowing a lot about it, but not more than Han Solo. That's just like, and then she's brilliant at the Force. She can do Jedi mind tricks. Like, after 3 tries, she gets a blaster in her hand and misses once, and then after that she's a flipping pro at the blaster. She gets the Luke's lightsaber and she flipping holds off Kylo Ren. Like, I know Kylo Ren wasn't trying, I know he wasn't trying to kill her, I know he was injured, I know there was so many things holding Kylo back. Obviously, if he was full power, if he was trying to actually kill her without even trying, and just force hold her and chuck her away. I know that. But when she closed her eyes and whooped his ass, obviously he didn't want to get his ass whooped. He didn't want to get his face sliced there. Even then, she shouldn't have been. I don't care how long she closed her eyes for. When he saw her closing her eyes, he should have known what she was doing. They even showed you his face. I think they showed you his face. He was just staying there and watching her close her eyes and power up. That's like in Dragon Ball Z when characters power up, turn Super Saiyan and that, and then they just stand there like idiots watching them. Like, in the video games, when you play Dragon Ball Z video games, you don't get no chance to power up. You got to make sure you've knocked them people down and they're far away before you have a chance to power up. Because people that play video games aren't stupid like characters are in films and stuff. Like, Kylo Ren just watching her basically power up and then get the power to defeat him without having any saber skills. Like, I don't know what the Force exactly does, like guides you or whatever, but I don't care. Like, come on. This film has even got an Oscar nomination, and I'm just thinking, what? Just because it's Star Wars, man. I think no matter what, people are going to love this film. Like, look, Episode 1 came out, yeah? And people loved that when it came out. I don't care what anyone says. There's people on YouTube, like, you know, the John Campions of Collider, and I don't know what that guy's name in Screen Junkies is, the one that's recently done the Star Wars movie fights. But yeah, there's people on YouTube that hate the prequels. They keep going on about how much they hate the prequels. Even Chris Stuckman, I think. And they all hate the prequels, right? But they all watched episode 1 like 8 times in the cinema when it came out. I was thinking, how can you hate it that much? Yet watch it 8 times, I don't know, or whatever number of times, man. They watched it multiple times in the cinema, and they loved it when it came out, but now they hate it, whatever reason. Like, it's just funny to me. So maybe The Force Awakens is like that as well. Like, maybe people love The Force Awakens now, but in a few years' time they realise it wasn't that great. There's a polarised audience for a reason. The amount of Force Awakens sucks reviews I've seen is ridiculous. Like, I don't really see that for Avengers movies that much. I mean, there are people that think that suck as well, but Force Awakens is so split down the middle, so polarised. But a lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it, you know. I'm down the middle, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, so, like, and when you compare this to prequels, you know, the Red Letter Media guys, what are they called again? Red Letter Media, the Plinkett reviews of the prequels, what I like to call the awakening, where it just kind of made everyone hate the prequels even more than they already do. I noticed on the internet, ever since the Plinkett reviews, people have just hated the shit out of the prequels double or maybe even 10 times more than they used to hate the prequels, because apparently Plinkett pointed out all the little nitpicks. I'm sure they could do that to every film, but anyway, let's not go on about that. So yeah, so basically the Plinkett guys, they said they hated the politics and they hated the crawls. Like, I'm pretty sure J.J. Abrams watched the Plinkett reviews. I can guarantee J.J. Abrams watched the Plinkett reviews and always kind of based it on that. Like, that's why we got A New Hope, you know, part 2. But anyway, they hated the little title crawl where it says the politics. A lot of people seem to hate it. I don't know if they hate because of Plinkett, but anyway, the politics and Trade Federation and the yada 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 and the separatists and all that kind of bullshit, right? Which is kind of boring, yeah, I agree. But now they took it to the extreme. Luke Skywalker has vanished. Princess Leia sends Poe Dameron to find him. Yeah, that's it. So they've really simplified it, and they say they loved it. But I watched Red Letter Media review of Force Awakens, and they were all confused about who the Resistance were, who the First Order are, why is the First Order so strong, what is the relation to the New Republic and Resistance. I know the relation to the New Republic and Resistance. The New Republic basically fund the Resistance privately, secretly, so no one knows about it, and the First Order just took them out or something. I hate the fact that they took out Coruscant. Like, that's what people are saying, they took out the New Republic. That's a whole flipping government, they just took them out, and there's no repercussions. No talk about it. Like, everything, I guarantee next film everything can be normal, like nothing happened. That's gonna piss me off. Like, if they took out Coruscant, the main government of all these galaxies and all these galaxies and stuff, then I'm just gonna be like, no, you can't do that, man. You can't just. Everyone's loving it because they took out Coruscant because it was in the prequels, but it's still important in the storyline at the end of the day. But anyway, yeah, so they don't know what the fuck the Resistance is. They don't know what the First Order is. Like, they don't know why they're so powerful. I don't know why they're so powerful. The relationship between the Resistance and the New Republic, you had to find out, like, second hand of some other people or reading some backstory material when it should have been in the film. Like, as boring as politics is, some of that shit should have been in the title crawl, and they took it out because of people complaining that the prequels are too boring, or too much politics. Politics is good. The greatest TV show right now is based on politics. Maybe not politics we know, like, it's based on old time politics. Game of Thrones I'm talking about. It's based on politics, you know? I mean, I know, like, people are going to say now in the comments, oh, but the politics in the prequels were shit. Like, we like politics, but not when they're shit. Okay, fine, they're shit. Though, for some reason, they didn't bother me, really. I didn't really, like, dissect the politics in the prequels. I just kind of just watched it for what it was and enjoyed the action scenes. But they still need politics in Star Wars. That's what makes it interesting. Like, you can't have A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi all the time. You need to freshen it up. And that's what I love about what George Lucas did with the prequels. George Lucas created the prequels, made something fresh, made new worlds, opened up the universe. Like we know who the Separatists are. We know who the New Republic is now. We know how the Empire formed from the Republic and how it was a good thing and it turned bad because of the Empire. We saw the growth of the Emperor from the prequels, and it was. I love all those bits. There's so much good in the prequels. I think people miss that sometimes because of some bad acting and some bad dialogue. Like, yes, the prequels have bad acting, has terrible dialogue and horrible CGI, and some annoying characters, though I don't really find Jar Jar Binks that annoying. I think people exaggerate that a bit, but yeah. But the prequels had some good stuff in it, like that opened up the universe. And what Force Awakens has done is just close the universe again, and we can't really see what's going on. It's just all this crazy action and joking around, and I just wanted something epic. I just wanted to see everything, Like, I know everyone's waiting for the sequels. I just hope Rian Johnson knows what he's doing. I hope Rian Johnson Breaking Bad's this shit up, But yeah, yeah, and then. Let's just talk about Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker in this, I was a bit disappointed. I mean, now, you know what, it's kind of grown on me. I've seen it twice, I've had some time to think on it, and it is pretty epic how Rey goes up there and he turns around and he's all like, and she's handing him the lightsaber, and even that shot, the helicopter shot, was a bit, well, I wouldn't say cheesy, it was a bit cringy at first. Like, you want to see Luke as much as you can. You don't care if the shot is cringy. You just want to see more Luke. And, like, you can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Though I'm not that excited because Rey's already peak level strength anyway. So I don't know what kind of training she's going to do, but whatever. But anyway, the reveal of Luke was pretty cool. But what I would have loved, what would have made me even like Rey more and stuff, what I would have loved was, say, Kylo Ren fucks Finn up. We see that. We've seen that. That happens. And then Rey pulls the lightsaber and she has her little fight with Kylo Ren. But this time she doesn't win. She doesn't close her eyes. In fact, she closes her eyes. But instead of Kylo Ren sitting there watching her like a retard, he says, what are you doing? She grabs her. She's like, ugh, like out of her trance. Throws her into a motherfucking tree. She's knocked the fuck out, right? And then you've got flipping... She's knocked out, and then the world doesn't break apart yet. Give it some time. They haven't destroyed the Starkiller base yet, Poe Dameron and his crew. So you got Kylo Ren yelling at Rey saying, "What do you think you're doing? You think you can stop me?" and all this kind of stuff. "You think you're stronger than me?" And she's all knocked out, can't even hear him and that. And then all you hear is, and then like the lightsaber's in the snow. And then, like, this time he force pulls it to his hand, so he's got the lightsaber and his red one. But then you hear, and then Kylo Ren's like, "What the fuck?" And Kylo Ren turns around, and all you see is Luke with his hood up, green lightsaber in hand, and Kylo Ren is like, "You're a hard man to find." And Luke doesn't say a word, yeah, and then straight away. They start fighting. Kylo Ren's got his red one with the thing, and he's got blue one in the other hand, and he's fighting Luke. Luke fucks him up, makes quick work of Kylo Ren. It's not a long fight. He just makes quick work of Kylo Ren, picks up the blue lightsaber, puts it in, so he's got his green one and the blue one, and he picks up Rey and Finn. No, he picks up Rey and escapes. Like, whatever ship he came in, like, you don't see the shit, I don't know. And he escapes. And Finn gets picked up by Chewbacca and they escape, That's how it should have ended. That would have been epic. Like, but, this ending is good as well. But I would have loved just to see, like, a bit more of Luke, Luke just ending that fight. I think that would have brought the film up so much more for me. Like, it doesn't necessarily have, Kylo Ren doesn't necessarily have the blue one and the red one. He could just have this red one or whatever. Like, or maybe the time where where the blue lightsaber was flying and Kylo Ren couldn't pull it, it could have gone into Luke's hand instead of Rey's hand, and Rey would have still been locked out. Like, but then we wouldn't have seen a fight between them two. But yeah, like, at least Rey wouldn't be OP then. At least she would have lost, like she should have done. Like, the way Finn has been developed in episode 7, Force Awakens, the way Finn was developed, the way he's been losing, the way he got his back slashed and he's in a coma at the moment, that is the development of a main character. That is a main character struggling, trying to get better. Rey's already at her peak, you know. Well, not at her peak, obviously I think she's going to get stronger, but Rey is pretty motherfucking strong, man. So quick. Like, she's done things that Luke couldn't even do in episode 3 so far. No, sorry, in episode 6. It's a madness. But yeah, Captain Phasma, you know, shit. I'm not even going to talk about that. That was a waste of time. Hopefully she'll be better in episode 8. That's what I'm going to say on that. Yeah, Rey, I'm hoping in episode 8 that she becomes not necessarily a Sith, but I feel like I want to see her become a Sith, maybe in episode 9. Maybe in 8 she falls to the dark side, and in episode 9 she's a full-blown Sith. Like, how cool would that be? Like, I'm going to put a picture there. That's what I want Rey to end up like. How badass would that be? Like, I think, because she's so strong now, like, and the way Daisy Ridley is kind of scary sometimes. Like, when Daisy Ridley plays mad, like, when she said, "Is that him?" and she was chasing Finn, like, she had this fucking scary, like, Finn was like, holy shit, he wanted to run. Like, you don't want to get a bad side. Daisy Ridley can play angry good. Like, she looks fucking scary. I think Daisy Ridley can make a flipping scary, powerful Sith. A badass female Sith. How cool would that be? But, I don't know, man. All the feminists love her, and all these, you know, SJWs love her and all that. So I don't know if they start complaining that they turned her into bad guys. Like, she's become sacred now. You can't show her failing or struggling once. Man, if I was a director, I wouldn't give a fuck what anyone says. I'll make her the most badass, sickest, strongest female character. Strong doesn't necessarily mean that she's good at everything. Strong means being in a hard, tough situation and having the strength to pull through and struggle through it, you know, having the strength to not give up when things are really hard. Like, she doesn't need to think about giving up because she just overcomes it straight away. That's the problem with Rey, you know. That's not what I want to see. I want to see Rey grow, and right now I can't imagine what she can grow to except for some kind of superwoman, you know. Like, she's already powerful. She's literally the most powerful character, not just from her force powers, but everything else she does, like, in the entire universe at the moment. Like, she's more powerful than Ren, obviously, from what I've seen. She just needs to close her eyes for 5 minutes and she kicks his ass. I don't care if he's injured and all that. Like, I feel like she would have done it to full-powered Ren for some reason. Snoke, obviously, might be more powerful than her. Speaking of Snoke, I didn't mind him. I thought he looked cool. I'm going to be quick on him when I talk about him because I'm running out of time. I've been speaking for too long now. It's so much to edit, but... yeah, Snoke, I think he's going to be Darth Plagueis. Like, if you listen to that scene where Darth Sidious, Palpatine, whatever you want to call him, the Emperor, was talking to Anakin in episode 3, the music is the same there as Snoke's music. So, and he's talking about Darth Plagueis, and Snoke is huge. Everyone seems to hate that Snoke is massive. I thought it was pretty cool myself. I mean, everyone's wondering how they're going to fight him. I'm sure they'll think of a way, man, but... obviously, I don't think he's that big. They showed that he's actually a hologram. But I feel like that was a little callback because there's a cool picture. I'm going to put the picture here, hopefully. The picture's there. Look how big... that's Darth Plagueis talking to Palpatine. I think that picture is just like a metaphorical picture. It's not real. It's just like a sort of dream-like... meta picture. It's not like, he's not really, Darth Plagueis is about 7 foot. He's not a huge monster. But I feel like J.J. Abrams saw that picture, right? And he thought, wow, that looks creepy as fuck. The size of his head compared to Palpatine's head. Like, I want to make him huge like that in the movie. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if I'm right. But yeah, so he just used that imagery of a huge looming monster, even though he's not really huge. He's probably going to be about 7 foot or something. Like, he's going to be. I think Snoke is Plagueis, but some people don't like the idea. I love the idea myself. It connects it to the previous universe perfectly. Like, it makes sense. Like, why did this Snoke come from? He's obviously a Sith, so where did he come from? Like, it makes sense that he's connected to something from the prequels, and we can build on that, you know. We can even talk about bringing back to life. Maybe, you know how Darth Plagueis has the ability to bring people back to life or from the dead. Maybe he could do that to Han Solo for whatever reason. They'll think of a reason, but you never know. Possibilities are endless with Darth Plagueis. But anyway, yeah, I'll give the movie about 7.5 out of 10 because I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was action, but it was a good fun action movie. I don't want to say comedy. I don't like the comedy too much. I don't care if the comedy is good. Like, they need to relax with the comedy, man. I think they need to make it a nice seriousness. What they should have is a comedic character. A character that's just naturally funny. You know how you got your group of friends and everyone's pretty serious and pretty normal? Then you have that one guy that's just hilarious. Like, he's just so funny and he brings the laughs. And you just need... That was Han Solo in the originals. No one was really funny. Luke didn't crack jokes. Leia didn't crack jokes, really. Like, they were just funny situationally. The only comedy you need is situational comedy and one funny character. Han Solo was that funny character. Han Solo was the one I gave it. And even when he was funny, he wasn't cheesy funny. Like, he was just funny because he got angry at something. Or he was funny because he just didn't have time for people's bullshit, you know? Like, he wasn't just cracking jokes like, oh, why did chicken cross the road, you know? So, that's the kind of comedy I need to bring back, like... But yeah, and then there was obviously C-3PO and R2-D2 and that, but I never liked that comedy. I think C-3PO is worse than Jar Jar Binks. People rip into Jar Jar Binks, but I think C-3PO is way worse. But anyway, yeah, that's my review not my review, but my general thoughts on Star Wars The Force Awakens. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you're still listening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know I load this really late. I hope people still care about this. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again. Peace.